Physiotherapists use this 4-step protocol to treat tendon injuries. And so what is a tendon? A tendon is the tissue that connects your muscles to your bones. And often this tendon can get injured as a result of overuse injuries. So one example is tennis elbow, where people playing tennis too much and that elbow gets irritated and the tendon can become injured and sore as a result of overuse of that movement. So after the acute phase of the injury, where you've rested and you've iced the injury and now you're going into your rehab, the first stage of rehab involves reducing our pain. That's our goal. And so what we're going to do is what's called isometric exercises. So usually when we do an exercise, you do it in a full range of motion, doing the full movement. But when we're doing that, our tendon is going to get irritated. It's going to be over the joint, touching the bone, which is going to irritate our tendon. And so what we're going to do instead is we're going to figure out where's the middle range, and we're going to hold the weight in that range. So this is an isometric exercise where you just hold the weight and have no movement, and you're going to hold this for 45 seconds, and what you're going to do 5 reps of 45 seconds. And because this exercise, we're not doing full range of motion and activating our muscles, we're activating the tendon and putting load on the tendon. We can do this 2 to 3 times a day. Usually when you're doing strength exercises, you'd be doing 2 to 3 times a week. But for this exercise, we're focusing on working the tendon. And so the tendon's main job is to absorb load. And so that's what we're going to give it to do. We're going to start getting it to absorb load again and do its job, which is what it wants to do. But because it's irritated and it's been injured, it hasn't been able to do its job, so it's going to become unhappy, which is going to cause pain. And so we're going to do these isometric exercises, which also causes what's called an analgesic effect, which is a pain reduction effect when you do isometric exercises. So try and incorporate isometric exercises, start light, and then work your way up to about 70% of your maximum. Do that for 45 seconds, 5 reps, 2 to 3 times a day. That's the first stage of tendon rehab. The second stage is where we build our strength. And so this stage we're going to incorporate heavier movements, but we're only going to do small ranges. Because remember, if we go to the full range, our tendon is going to be over a joint, and that's going to cause it to become irritated again. And so we just worked hard to reduce the pain and not have it irritated. So when we're doing exercises, you just want to be using heavy weight, but a small range. You're going to be doing this 3 to 4 sets of 15 reps, so a high load amount, because we're going to want to put more load on the tendon and get it doing its job. So 3 to 4 sets, 15 reps, 3 times a week for 12 weeks. That's the next stage of the tendon protocol. After you've built up that strength again of the tendon and it's doing its job, it's stronger, our next job is to build its power. And so for the third stage, our goal is to improve our power. And so we know the tendon loves load, and so power is strength times speed. So we're going to be putting as much load as possible, keeping the tendon happy, but in a safe way. So we're going to be doing high speed contractions using a heavy weight, that's strength and also the speed. So we've got to reduce the amount of reps we're doing now. So we're going to do 6 reps, but it's going to be much faster repetitions, and because it's faster we might not be able to do the full range, but we're going to be putting the load on the tendon. So try and figure out an exercise specifically for your tendon injury. If it's an elbow or knee or some other joint, find an exercise and try and incorporate more power, more speed and more strength into the exercise. So in the last stage, the goal is to return to sport or return to your activities of daily living. So we're going to incorporate drills that are specific to your goals. So if you're a tennis player, incorporate more tennis movements. Where you're playing tennis again, add a bit more, you've got the strength and the power. So let's go back and try and get back to return to sport. So do drills that you normally be doing when you're playing the sport. Just try and start off at a light intensity and build yourself up. And the goal is just to have training that replicates the demands of your sport. So they're the 4 stages of treating a tendon. First stage, our goal is to reduce pain. We're going to be doing isometric exercises. And so the second stage, our goal is to improve our strength. So we're going to use heavy weights, but it's going to be a small range. And we're going to do about 15 reps for 3 to 4 sets. In the next stage, the third stage, our goal is to improve our power. So we're going to be incorporating more speed and strength. So we're going to do 6 reps, 3 to 4 sets, gradually build up our power. So then we can do the next stage, which is the last stage, and return to sport. And you start doing more sport-specific drills or activities you'd be normally doing during the day. Now, I hope you found this valuable. I hope you try and incorporate some of these tactics and go through this tendon protocol, treat your injury if you have one, or I hope this was a bit more of a interesting educational thing that helped you learn about what a tendon is and how you can treat it. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video.